said to us.
So guys, the adventure starts. Where are you taking us today?
We're trying to get here today.
Looks like we've got a bit of a drive.
I hope it's not too long. I'm tired after last night.
It'll be alright. Looks like a few hours though.
Did you remember to bring the torch?
Enough chin wagon, let's get this adventure on the road.
Hang on, what about the whopper test?
That's not!
Alright, I'll do it.
Is she going to do this every time we hit the road?
Let her go for it. It's the right thing to do. Radiator. W. Oil is in your car. Check it before you hit the road. O. Fuel's in your car. Make sure it's full. F. Air's in your tires. Make sure you rat mountain them. A. Go on, Jack!
North Queensland is a beautiful place and the Outback is awesome. Don't spoil it by having a breakdown or an accident. Some sort of rope and a shovel are multi-use items that will come in handy in many situations. A fire extinguisher is absolutely essential. You should have spare hoses, fuses and fan belts, especially for an older car, but having your car serviced will ensure that your engine runs at its best for a long trip. If you don't tie down your load, it could become a projectile in the event of an accident. The last thing you want is the imprint of a tyre on your back. Check that you have a spare tyre, that it has good tread and that it's inflated properly. Also check that you have a jack and all the tools necessary to remove your tyre. I would be checking that you can actually remove the wheel nuts. Lights, indicators. Indicators, headlights. Also check that your headlights aren't pointing up in the sky. They're no use to you if they're pointing up there when they're fully loaded. A word of warning for those of you thinking of doing your own underbonnet fluid checks. Modern cars typically have sealed or semi-sealed fluid systems.
Where's your favourite place in the Outback?
Oh, a place called Boomer's Hole on the Walsh River.
And why do you like that place?
Because I went there fishing a lot when I grew up. We owned a station up there. My great-grandfather took up a property out there in the 1800s.
What do you like about the Outback?
That's you.
Peace and quiet. The no hassles from everybody running around chasing their tail, I suppose.
W. W is for water. There's water in the blue one. There's water in the big one. And I have cold water in my esky. Yes. O is for orientation. There's my map. And I've got a caravan park at Mount Garnet. It's all down. F for food. Food in the big esky for long distance, and for just for today I've got food in my little esky. A is for aid, first aid. Now buckle up and we're off.
Before he starts his Outback adventure.
Sure thing, Charters! Stop!
What?
You haven't done the Whopper check!
Oh, you have done the Whopper.
You haven't done the People Whopper!
The People Whopper?
W is for water. You need to keep plenty of it for on the road. In case you have an accident, you can keep hydrated. 20 litres of emergency water and 4 litres per person per day.
O is for orientation. Make sure you know the distance between each location. Plan to make it to your destination in good time.
Right.
F is for food. It's a given, really. Make sure you have more than enough in case of any unexpected stops. Keep it cool. With an esky. That is.
A is for aid. Call people frequently. Let them know where you're heading and what time you expect to get there.
That's another well done, girl.
Planning is paramount. Know your distance. One state of Australia can swallow up a whole European country. There can be over 100 kilometres distance between one town to another. Communication is absolutely important. You have a range of mobile phones, satellites and radios. You should know your distance with your mobile phones and what area they will cover. Another good option is a UHF radio set on channel 40. Most truckies use channel 40 around here and they can keep you informed of what's happening with the roads. It may seem simple enough, but a lot of people forget insect repellent, sunscreen and hats. Don't. And another good idea is to pack for all seasons. The weather up here can change quite rapidly. If you take daily medication, it is important to take an additional amount to cover for spoilage or lossage. Another good idea is if you have a list of your medication and you have it either in your glove box or on your windscreen. That way, if you're rendered in an accident and you're unconscious, this little bit of information can help us save your lives. Children can also be a distraction in a vehicle, so make sure you pack plenty of things for them to do to keep them occupied. And always remember, in a life-threatening emergency, call 000.
As you travel around Outback North Queensland, you will occasionally find call point signs. At call point positions, road train drivers radio the call point number, vehicle type, direction and position. For example, southbound road train, call point 2. The purpose of this is to let you know that the road might be narrowing or there's a narrow bridge ahead and a road train is approaching. It is best to slow down safely. If there's room, move completely off the road and stop to let them pass. If you come to a complete stop, the road train driver knows he can remain entirely on the road, and this is the safest option for both vehicles. You yourself can also radio ahead at these call points to alert oncoming traffic. For example,
this is a Mazda Ute towing a camper trailer. travelling north, approaching call point 2. Is there any heavy traffic travelling south?
I've been a truck driver for around 30 odd years. As a truck driver, I don't always feel comfortable on the road, especially on the busy roads, sort of from Charters Towers to Townsville. People losing patience and overtaking on double lanes, round corners, where they can't see. We can't even see, let alone them, and they're 60 metres behind where we are, and they just take the gamble. And they're not only putting themselves at risk, we're at risk. We've got 130 tonne sitting behind us and we can't stop or swerve off the road or do anything. We've just got to wear the brunt of it, and if there's another truck coming towards us, well, there's not much we can do. There's a lot of weight there and we just can't stop like a four-wheel drive can. Talking on the two-way's a big problem for us because we got call points everywhere we go, and we've got to let the other truck drivers know coming towards us that we're coming towards them. And if we've got tourists talking about their life back at home or washing or what they did last night, it just overrides us and we can't communicate properly on the two-way.
Roads are quite different in the outback to the roads in the city, particularly around bridges and river crossings. The roads tend to narrow as shown here, where there are sometimes not even a metre between you and the oncoming traffic. If you are towing a caravan or have a large extruding review mirror, it is best to pull over if you are coming to a narrow bridge and a road train is coming the other way.
Safe passing of a road train travelling about 90 km per hour requires of at least 1 kilometre distance ahead of the road train.
When a road train approaches a single lane road, a car or caravan should immediately pull over to a stop to ensure that the road train can pass. But failing to do so can result in accidents ranging from broken windscreens from stones or collisions or rollovers from vehicles or trailers.
Ensure road trains and trucks know you're about to overtake. Pull out and indicate so they can see your intention in their mirrors.
Use communication via radio, transmission, channel 40 with the truck driver to know safe overtaking opportunities.
By law, caravans and or trucks travelling in convoy must provide at least a 60-metre distance between each vehicle and the next. When travelling in a road train area, you must provide at least 200 metres between each vehicle and the next.
There are a lot of train crossings in Outback Australia. Don't take the risk. You'll end up second best. There are a number of train types surrounding the roads, from your standard trains to the cane trains. Either way, the rules apply the same for both. Pay attention to signals. Never enter a railway crossing when the red lights are flashing or the boom gate is down. Never queue across tracks. Understand there are many rail crossings that don't have lights or boom gates. In any case, make sure you obey the signals posted around the tracks. Cane trains in particular are in their peak during the months of June to November, which is the crushing season. Due to this time, the trains run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With a full load, many cane trains weigh up to 1,000 tonnes. When travelling at 30 kilometres per hour, it'll take almost a kilometre to stop after brakes have been applied. Believe me, you do not want 1,000 tonnes ending up on your car.
Jeff, tell me where's your favourite place in the Outback?
Well, I'd say my favourite place in the Outback is Charters Towers. As I said, I've been born and bred here. It's a great place for families, it's a great place to live, and not only that, you can buy a fair bit of country and still be close to town. When you have icons like this one we're in now, you know, the stock exchange started here in 1892 and it went through to 1912. Just imagine, of all the people coming in here. What is eerie for me is the fact that my own grandparents on both sides of the family were actually here before this was built. My family got here in the 1870s, and on one side, which is Mum's side, which is Irish, and that's where I get the gift of the gab, I suppose, from my Mum's side, and her grandparents actually built the Kirk River Hotel before Charters Towers was even founded. So it's really, you know, the place is just so nostalgic for myself that everywhere I go, I can almost feel them above me. I hope they're above me, just, you know, following me as I go.
My favourite place in the Outback would be probably along the rivers, and we've got some of the most beautiful rivers up here around Charters Towers in the north. We've got the Burdekin, and we've got all the rivers that head just north of here that run back into the Gulf. So any of those rivers and places that there's a lot of places for people to camp, so it's all nice.
The roadway can provide us with a smorgasbord of delights in food and water. Unfortunately, we don't really understand your vehicles and tend to do a bit of damage to them when we hit them.
Your vision is impeded, particularly during sunset and sunrise. You see, outback highways often run east to west. This means they can be a nasty glare in the early morning and or late afternoon, depending on which way you travel.
Not to mention, the insects and bugs are attracted to the lights of your car. They are tasty for us, but not for your car. They can make a mess of your windscreen and disrupt your view of the road.
If you are on holidays, why are you driving at night? You can't see the wonderful surroundings and you're putting yourself at unnecessary risk. If you have to drive at night, use high beam, but always remember to dim your lights for oncoming traffic.
Weather is important too. Always know what the weather is doing on the day of your trip. Avoid driving in heavy rain or high wind. Contact local police stations, petrol stations or the Traffic Management Centre to find information on road closures. The Traffic Management Centre can be contacted on 13 1940 or www.131940.queensland.gov.au.
Always obey road warning signs. It may appear that there is only a little water on the road, but the water can hide dangers such as potholes and washed away sections of the road.
Distances between communities can provide an additional risk during bush or grass fires. Stay away from the roads where a fire has been reported. If you risk it, you could find yourself surrounded by fire with nowhere to go but up in smoke.
Roadworks are another important thing to be aware of. Of course, obey the signs, that's a given. Remember, if a truck or road train is forced to side straddle the bitumen when passing, your car will more than likely collect stones to the window as you pass.
Hang on, where did you come from?
Africa, baby, Africa.
He's not from around here.
You're telling me.
Be careful on the roads. I understand it's a holiday you're on. You share the roads with people who consider it to be their office or place of work. Know your trip, distances, road conditions and weather. Be aware that outback roads might have regular roadworks and cause delays in your travel. Take advantage of driver reviver locations and rest stops wherever possible. There are two key points to think of before any trip into the outback: planning and communication. If you can ensure that these two things are covered, you will have a hassle-free and exciting adventure.
10 years ago, on the 3rd of the 5th, 2002, It was around 8 o'clock near 8 Mile Creek where my mother accidentally ran over 3 dead wild pigs. My mother, auntie and I were coming up to my mum's parents for a country music festival. Well, coming up for a visit really, but still. And it was 8 o'clock and there was Western Star Prime Mover coming, cattle one. And we both had dim lights. There was a car above us, ahead of us, who had hit 3 pigs and was looking at their car, but they didn't move the pigs off the road. So my mother, with everything being pitch black, hit the pig's trampoline and hit above the lights of the Prime Mover Western Star. The truck rolled. Luckily the driver survived. My mother died almost instantly and my auntie she hit her head on the dash. I was underneath the driver's seat with 2 broken legs and a broken arm. The doctors say it was unbelievable that I was still alive. I was in hospital for 2 months. My mother will be proud of me if she's seen me now. I can remember her long wavy red hair. I can remember her starting a drawing. I'm now living in Charters Towers with my mum's side of the family, her parents, and I get to visit my father's side of the family, his parents. Living with them is great. But like all grandchildren, they get spoiled. So probably for my birthday I won't be getting much because I nearly got everything. Except for a video camera, so I might be getting that for Christmas. I'm doing this project because I want to dedicate it to my mum Rachel, and I want people to be aware of the dangers of the outback roads. Looks like we still got a way to go.
I told you it was too far. I'm tired.
You're not the only one. I can hardly see out this windscreen full of bugs.
Just keep concentrating. We haven't seen any kangaroos lately.
If only there was a place we could go.
Look out!
There are a few things you must be aware of when you're in an emergency situation in the outback. It is most important, if your car breaks down or runs out of fuel, do not wander off, because it's easier to find a car than to find a person, either by air or land search. Another valuable reason to stay by your car is you can use it as shade and conserve your energy during the day when it gets hot. You must also have a first aid kit that is well stocked. If there is some type of road marker nearby, do not wander off looking for one. Get your information from that so you can inform the emergency services to where you really are in the outback.
Oh, is everyone okay? Sit down there, don't move. Oh, is that a pig? Check it with the eye. Don't go near it, it might not be dead. Just be careful, girls. Call for help. There's no signal. We're out of range. What are we going to do now? I think I see someone coming. Get out of the way from down. Quickly. Everybody give him a position that he can see. Help! Help! We need help! Over here! Help! 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 Help!
Yeah, looks like everyone's alright.
Hi, my name's Renewal Palmer and I was born in Charles Towers. I like living in Charles Towers because I've got family here and I can ride my horses pretty much anywhere I want. I also think that I have more freedom living out here because it's so quiet and like you can do whatever you want pretty much around here. I also think that living in Charles Towers you'll have more opportunities than the city because it's a small country town and pretty much everybody knows everybody. Living in Charles Towers is a really beautiful area because it's nice and quiet.
Way back in days of old, when Mossman founded gold, my township grew almost overnight. The settlers rolled on in with their wives and their kin from the crack of dawn until the fading light. The wagons and the teams crossed the ranges and the streams on a journey that lasted many hours. From the coastline where they came in the rush to stake their claim on the gold fields now known as Charters Towers. Just a glimpse of glory, relics of the past, a town steeped in history, a town built to last. All miners had their doubts when the water drove them out and the towers went to sleep for many years. Since 1872 there's a story old and true and a memory of the past that's held so grand. The world had grown so well, all miners they will tell how gold rush miners made their final stand. Charters Towers, you're living still beside that old brown hill. You're a legend in a land so big and free. And for every ounce of gold there's a story to be told, 100 years of famous history. Just a glimpse of glory, relics of the past, a town steeped in history, a town built to last. From its sleep it did awake when modern companies staked new claims for a second rush for gold. From its sleep it did awake when modern companies staked new claims for a second rush for gold.